I don't usually drink in my videos, but why the hell not? Relax, it's only 13%. Do you suppose that making like ethical videos with like that are socially responsible and stuff, you suppose that actually sabotages your views? You know, your video views? I wonder. Okay, so this video is pretty much like a confessional. I'm just gonna kind of say how I feel, that kind of thing. And it'll give you a little bit more insight as to, you know, how I'm feeling about things, what I want to do, you know, and it's going to go a little bit beyond the YouTube facade thing as well. I've watched a lot of people over YouTube over the years. Recently I saw this video by a fella named Mr. Repsion, Daniel Salzbach, I think his name was. And he started out making videos wanting to convert people to Christianity, then wanting to convert people to atheism because he changed. Then he made a bunch of social justice and social issues type videos, and now he just made this video where he's pretty much done with that. And he goes on to say that like he's sort of finished with making YouTube videos as a job now, and he's going back to school and he's learning how to do welding and he's going to do a trade, and he's basically leaving the YouTube thing and doing something in the real world. And it makes you kind of wonder when you see this kind of thing happening, because it makes you wonder whether the success he attained, because he's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I mean, I've been subscribed to him since he had about like 60,000. He's got hundreds of thousands now. And it makes you wonder, is it common for people to just get burned out on YouTube? Or do people get burned out because they've gone and made content that at the time was kind of good, and then later on in life it really doesn't resonate with them and they don't like it? Because he actually says in the video that he wasn't happy with any of the videos he made in 2017 at all, and he made videos primarily for drama and for views. You know, make a controversial video, put it up, it gets views, and then people come back and they want more. And then it reaches a point where it's just like, you know, you don't have any more to give. You're finished. And then you have to decide, you know, what are you going to do, you know. And another example, watch this fella named Mike Phillips, who was a paintballer, and he made a channel and a website and a whole brand called Tech PB. And he did this for, I don't know, between 5 and 10 years. And his channel just blew up, you know. It's got like over 100,000 subscribers now. And then it was just like, I'm kind of finished now. And then he said he was going to do drones. He didn't do drones, and he didn't post for 7 months. And then there's another example. Daniel Arman, who was a guy that I saw on VidMe, young fella, attained a lot of success very quickly. You know, got like 1,400 followers on VidMe within a period of less than a year. You know, just completely outrun my growth on VidMe. And then he basically threw that all away. Hell, I tweeted him on Twitter and saying, why are you not making videos anymore? No reply to that. I mean, I think that for him it's just real life getting in the way, and you know, and he's wanting to do it. And it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, how much does real life get in the way of this at the end of the day? And I'll talk a little bit about myself here with my own feelings on it. I really kind of regret that I didn't get stuck into this travel vlogging thing 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, a long time ago. God, if I had, you know, with my kind of work ethic, with, you know, the amount of consistency and regularity and you know, the dedication that I put into releasing videos as often as I possibly can, which probably averages out 2 to 3 videos a week when you average it all out over the year. Geez, if I'd been doing this, you know, since the beginning of YouTube, geez, I might very well be one of those people with, you know, 1 million plus subscribers at this stage. But that's not the decision I made. You know, back 10 years ago, my priorities were different. I was playing paintball, I was also doing Tai Chi. And for different reasons, I've given up both of those. And giving those up has enabled me to do the YouTube vlogging thing and the YouTube video thing. But I couldn't do that. I couldn't do this, what you've seen, this content that I've made in the past couple of years. I could not have done this had I stuck with paintball and stuck with Tai Chi, because both those things are somewhat time intensive, evenings, weekends, and I haven't really had any other hobbies that have competed with that. I tried to do archery for a wee while, nothing came of that. And there, after I gave up paintball, there was kind of a hole in my life, and I was looking to fill it with something, and that something was, YouTube videos. Make no mistake, it is a hobby. It's a fun hobby. It is a hobby that I hope will one day pay real money. But I have no illusions about that. I have actually been earning AdSense revenue for the past couple of years. And over those 2 years, I've had 2 payouts of $130 in ad revenue from Google AdSense. In terms of value for money, if you were measuring this by value for money, that is terrible value for money, with the number of hours and hours and hours you put into doing this. And I put a lot of time into watching a lot of YouTube videos about, and not just YouTube videos, but reading articles and stuff about SEO, search engine optimization, learning about titles, description, tags, and trying to cross-promote across different platforms, trying to reach out to anybody, honestly, that will collab with me. I suppose when you're a small YouTuber, it's easy to sort of say, I'll collab with anyone, because if everybody's bigger than you, audience-wise, if everybody's bigger than you, you got nothing to lose, really. And then you have that kind of situation where you try to reach out to a bigger YouTuber, and it might not even be somebody with, millions of subscribers or even thousands. You might just try to reach out with someone just with a few hundred, and a lot of people are just not interested in talking with you, not interested in listening to what you say, not interested in even considering what content you have to offer and what cross-promotional ideas you may have to offer them. Throughout this process, you end up comparing yourself to other channels and considering the amount of work you've put in, and then asking yourself, is it worth it? Is my growth on YouTube, is it the way growth is supposed to happen? And oftentimes, the answer to that question is no. Like, I see channels with very few videos, and instantly they just overnight, like that, just get hundreds and then thousands of subscribers. And this is what happened with Daniel Armin. I don't really know why. I can't account for it. It's a wee bit of a mystery why some people, I guess it's just X factor maybe, some people, they just have a little bit of an X factor to them, and people just gravitate towards them. Another thing that I wonder about, which is something that probably nobody talks about, but I really wonder sometimes, is the overall demographic of YouTube. How many of the overall audience are like under the age of 30, for example? I wonder about that sometimes, because I look at lists on YouTube of the top YouTubers, and most of them, judging by the way they look, most of them look like they're under 30. And if all the top YouTube channels are mainly by people under 30, and here's me pushing 40, it just makes you wonder, how much does youth and beauty really come into this? Like, there's the odd exception to the rule. You have someone like Ellen DeGeneres, for example, who might be, in those top YouTube channels, but she was already famous, long before YouTube. So celebrities kind of don't count. If you're famous for something else, that is what has led you to your success. So I keep plodding away, and I just wondered to myself, at what point is it going to be enough is enough? There is a little bit of a life kind of don't know how to describe it, kind of a legacy thing going on here, right? I don't have kids. I don't plan to have kids. I've never been interested in having kids. It's not that I hate kids, I just don't want my own kids. I've never wanted my own kids, not really. Will I regret that one day? Maybe. But you know what they say in life, you make your bed and you sleep in it, and you make your decision and you stick to it, and it is what it is. Without having kids, I think to myself, what is my legacy going to be to the world? What legacy can I leave? What thing of value can I leave to the world after I pass away and I die, whenever that is, whether I have a heart attack tomorrow or whether I die 40 years time, whenever that may be, what's my legacy to the world? And I think about Borg sometimes. So, okay, that's Borg. Borg was a paintball channel, and he, from what I never met the guy, from what I understand, nice enough guy, and he made these little like kind of paintball how-to videos. He was quite well liked, actually, but he had some real issues going on in his life. I don't know specifically what they all were, but I know that there was depression. I think there was a relationship breakup. There was money issues. I know. I think he was heavily in debt or something. I don't know all of the details, but he killed himself. He took his own life. I think he hung himself. I'm not quite sure how he did it, but he killed himself. And his legacy to the world became his YouTube channel, basically. And you can still look up his videos now. Of course, there's no new content, but he has that kind of library of stuff up there, and that's his legacy to the world. So I think sometimes about, is what I'm doing now going to be my legacy to the world? Because I don't want to just throw out all of the stuff I've done. I don't want to be like, delete everything and this kind of stuff. And if YouTube, I honestly don't believe YouTube is going anywhere anytime soon. I think it really is here to stay. And there would have to be a gargantuan monumental shift in the way media works online for that to ever change, because YouTube's run by Google. Google runs YouTube at a loss, or so it tells us. Platforms that have tried to compete with YouTube, like VidMe, have discovered that achieving financial sustainability is pretty much impossible, and the only way Google can do it is running YouTube at a loss. And so, because this happens, YouTube is like the only game in town in terms of a massive online video site. China has its own internal video sites, but those are basically for China. Yeah, you can use them outside of China, but they're all in Chinese language. But even, the gargantuan society that is China and their video website, Youku, that can't really compete size-wise with Google, with YouTube, because YouTube that's the whole world. So I really do think to myself about what happens in the future, honestly, with my YouTube channel. Is it a failure? Am I just wasting my time? I have over 300 videos produced, and they get like 30-40 views. If I'm lucky, they get 30-40 views. Now, on the one hand, you could say, well, that's actually progress, because when you started, you had 0 subscribers and your videos got 5 views or 10 views. So to get 30 or 40, that's not too bad. You could look at it that way. Or you could kind of say, that is a huge failure. Why are you not getting hundreds of views by now? You've been at this for 2 years, over 300 videos. And this is the kind of viewership that you're getting. And I think to myself, well, what can I possibly do to increase my viewership, my subscriber base, to get views? It's not really all about the money, but it is kind of about what I'd like for the future. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute. But the only thing that I've ever done that's gotten hundreds of thousands of views was an animated short film, and that took 200 hours to make. I mean, and I certainly would expect that for that kind of effort that, yeah, I'd get a lot of views for it. Certainly not the easiest thing to just slap together an animated short film that's, you know, got a lot of material in it. So, the future. One of the reasons, probably the main reason, why I decided to start doing this, and it's primarily travel vlogging, but I do some other stuff as well, as you know, is because of this channel, Louis Cole. Louis Cole's channel is kind of interesting. Let me tell you a little bit about Louis and what he did. Okay, well, he is a travel vlogger. He has just under 2 million subscribers now at the time I make this video. And I've been watching his videos for the entire 2 years, the last 2 years that I've been doing this. And I've been watching his views slowly decline. Like when I started watching, he would easily get 100 to 150,000 views per video for any one of his travel vlogs. Then it sort of got down to the point where he got 100,000. Then it sort of got down to the point where he got 50,000. Now he's getting probably between 25 and 50,000. I'm seeing a slow but steady decline in his views. I have to wonder about that. Now, I saw another YouTuber named LaoY86, and he's actually a fella in China that I follow. I'm really hoping I might actually get to meet him one day. But he sort of said that he thought that vlogging on YouTube is actually slowly dying out just due to how oversaturated it is. But not so much due to the oversaturation, but due to the fact that it provides very little value. And I think that's where the real trick is in terms of growth with whatever you do, is that you really have to provide something of value. Now maybe you're just insanely funny and charismatic and you can just be entertaining, and that entertainment provides value. Then again, maybe you're a fat guy in a brown shirt sitting in a kitchen talking to a camera, and what you're saying is not that entertaining. You got to look elsewhere to provide your value. How can I provide value? And I think about that a lot, a hell of a lot. And that's one reason why I've kind of started doing more tech review stuff, because I look at the views that stuff gets, and it's like, oh, okay, tech reviews. People want to see that stuff. I'm not going to overload my channel with it and go and buy and release the next gadget and stuff, but got to do something. Got to provide value somehow. And that leads me into the inequality of YouTube, and this is kind of, I don't know how you articulate this, but it's like channels that are out there and that are established now, whatever it is, vlogging channel, photography channel, beauty channel, drone channel, gaming channel. A lot of channels get a head start by the companies whose products they promote. I'll give you an example of this. If you are a drone channel, you fly drones, you buy drones, you review drones, you talk about drones, you make drone videos. If you're a drone channel, and you're a big drone channel, not just a small drone channel, you are going to be approached by like DJI and stuff, and they're going to tell you about their next drone that's coming out, and they're going to want you to make a review of it and release that review on the day that the drone comes out. I know this because it fucking happened with the Mavic Air. I was all set to start making a video talking about the Mavic Air. So it's like, okay, Mavic Air is released. And here is the specifications, and this is what the drone can do. And I thought to myself, oh, okay, let's make a video talking about Mavic Air. Is it going to be a good drone? Is it going to be a bad drone? What's going to be good about it? Should you buy it? Yada, yada, yada. And on the very day it was released, the very day I saw a whole bunch of Mavic Air reviews by the big channels on YouTube. You know, we're talking Fun for Louie, we're talking Casey Neistat, we're talking Digital Rev TV, just lots of big channels that either do tech reviews or they dabble in tech reviews. And due to the fact that they've got an established audience, they get access to that stuff first, they get to review it first, and of course if you're a DJI, why not? Why wouldn't you do that? I mean, how you know that your product is going to get more eyes and more views, you know, more exposure. Your product's going to get more exposure if you let these reviewers go ahead and do this. So if you're DJI, why not? But you know, it's not fair, is it? To the rest of us, we don't get provided with products to review ahead of time. So that makes that pretty freaking hard, doesn't it? Anyway, I think this has gone on long enough. I think I've covered some of the things I wanted to cover. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you for making it all the way to the end. If you made it all the way to this point in the video, please leave a comment in the comments that said I made it to the end. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna keep doing this. At least I don't plan to stop anytime soon. Certainly for this year I have travel plans, and I don't want to throw away another YouTube channel. I've already thrown away 2. I don't want to throw away a 3rd, and I picked travel vlogging because even though it may not be the most popular thing in the world, I think it's something that I'm going to stick with. But it's hard to stick with it when you make 300 videos and you get 30 views a video. It does make you question what you're doing with your time. Thanks for watching.